What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday night. You know what we do on Tuesday night, y'all. It's time for a reality recap, y'all. We're going to get into some Bell Collective and some Real Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Um, Bell Collective is giving us 2 episodes. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the 2 episodes, and hopefully that's it. And then next week, we're gonna get into their reunion. Whew, child, so much going on. I'm over here. I took my notes on my phone today, so you know, bear with me. But we're gonna start with Bell Collective. I want to start with the reunion looks. Let's start there. We just gonna get into the thing. Um, and I'm gonna be over here technically not savvy, trying to move my way around things. So the theme was gold. I guess they had this gold theme going on, and um they did go ahead and put out pictures, which made me happy because we go along trying to find these pictures of whatever it is they have, they're wearing to these reunions, and they just put out the pictures. And they both did. They both put out the pictures. Latrice. We could start with her. Latrice is official. Can y'all see that? Yes, y'all see that. Okay, Latrice. She's, I guess, referencing Cher. She looks beautiful. Latrice rarely gets it wrong, and I think when she does, it's not necessarily wrong. It's just a little bit, maybe not your taste. But I like the jewelry. Her face is beat. The bust down, yeah, I'm gonna get me a bust down before I do anything. Yeah, the jewelry is nice. Latrice, is blessed with that beautiful figure, so it's giving Grecian god. She's like melting in this gold, and it's not necessarily for everyone, but I do think that because her body is bodying, it's very sexy. I'm feeling it. She feeling it. She looks beautiful. What y'all think? Y'all feeling Latrice? Would she be at my top? Let me think about that for a minute. Hey, Elsie, doesn't she look beautiful? And she's completely different than what everybody else has on. So let's go ahead and check out the next on the list. Is she my favorite? I don't know. I don't know if she's my favorite. Um, but she's definitely one of the top. Tambra Cherie. I got to go to their pages, y'all, because that's where they posted all the pictures. I'm not mad at it. It's, I feel like the top is a little bit boxy. Tambra is tiny. So, yeah, I feel like the top might have been a little bit much for her, but the silhouette is nice. She looks nice. Tamara, she's another one of those that it'd be a hit or miss for her. I think this is neither a hit nor a miss. Her hair looks good. Her makeup, I mean, it looks good here. We looking at the retouched pictures over here. Prom dress, you think it's giving prom dress? I feel like, yeah, just because the way these girls go to prom nowadays, they don't go out like I did back in my day. But child, never thought I would be sitting up here saying back in my day, but here I am. I'm not mad at the silhouette. I think, like I said, she's just so tiny. I feel like there could have been a lot less of that top. It's giving, box or prom dress. Let's see who else. Yeah, I gotta toggle back and forth and go to their pages individually. Marie Monroe, child. Marie Monroe came over here with her titty balls. She gave you a video. I feel like this dress failed at um more beading at the top. I think when you look at Marie in this dress, the bottom looks. I like the bottom. I'm not sure about the illusion. The illusion is just a little bit light, so I could see the illusion on her. But I felt like the beading kind of stopped at the top and it cheapened it a little bit. Are we? Is she gonna put the dress on? For goodness sakes, Marie Monroe. Here she is. Yeah, I'm not mad at the bottom, but the way they put those, she's got a jewel on her cooch and one on her each boobie. And so it's a little bit distracting. I feel like that bow should be a little bit fuller. It should be a little bit fuller. So yeah, that's what Marie Monroe was over here giving a little bit too much exposure. Like, what do y'all think? The nude illusion is close, but actually, it doesn't bother me so much. I think it's just the way they did the bra, the top of the dress. It's too much focus on the boobies. Oh, Marie Monroe over here with braids in. That's cute. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know. Marie, I don't know about your edges, girl. Go back. Let me just go back to what I came over here for, and I'll look at your page later since you got so many followers and things. But we'll get into that too. Who's next? Tampa Marie. Selena is not fair because Selena's got that body, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm here for the hair, the face is B, the earrings. This Selena, look at that. She don't have to do much. The body is bodying, and it's just enough. I don't know why Selena came out there with that purse on, but yeah, Selena, she might be my favorite when I look at it. And Selena is a bustier woman, but the way they like put the gold strap underneath to kind of give her a little support. Yeah, this is something like Marie Monroe's dress was missing, but yeah, Selena looks amazing. Marie, the neck reminds me of how drag queens hide the neck of the. Yes, it was giving drag queen, but I feel like Maria is a little bit of a drag queen. And Selena, yeah, I love it. So far, it's Selena and Latrice are the top for me. And it's funny because fashion is so funny. Everybody has a different opinion, and you can listen to somebody else and it'll be complete opposite of what I'm saying. But we have it here right now. Carrie Paul. Carrie Paul is another little one. Girl, where you dress at? Oh, child. Uh, Leticia and that dragon. Here we go. Here we go, Carrie Paul. I like it. Carrie is giving the sheerness, the illusion. The fit is beautiful, and the top is gonna be nice. When you sit down. Carrie got a stylist. She came in as a little country lady, but my only critique would be that I wish it wasn't so sheer. I'm glad we're kind of going back to just a little bit of a delusion. We don't have to like see your panties. But yeah, Carrie looks good, hair looks good. Okay, girl. I'm so glad like they took these pictures because we always got to be trying to find something. Yeah, that's pretty. Just enough like train on it. Whoever her stylist is, raise your hand. It's giving. I mean, I don't know that everybody likes this particular Bob, but I happen to be a fan of that girl. So it's giving very much Marlo Thomas, that girl vibes. Yep. Carrie up there at the top. Okay, right now my top three are um Latrice. You love Carrie. That's nice, isn't it? Latrice and Carrie and Selena are right now my top three. And hmm, let's see who's next. Good job, Carrie. We love it. We love it. We love it. Who did that on Saturday Night Live? I love it. I love it. Okay, Leticia Pearson. I can't wait to hear what Elsa thinks of this one. Leticia is standing here with a dragon wing, one dragon wing sticking out the side of her neck. She looks like she's going to either sell butter or chicken. I can't decide which one it is. It's a. They never actually get her cleavage right. I want somebody to put, and this is the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and finish. What you think of the dragon wing, El Cid? Welcome to Broadway, dragon wing. Yeah, just one wing. I don't like any of these wings. I don't like any of these wings on any of these bells or housewives. So y'all, for the love of God, please put the wings and bridges away over the top of your head in the dress. She's selling caramel apple butter. It's the caramel apple. It's just, you can't mess with Mother Nature. Like, there's so many things with Leticia in this ugly dress, but she never gets it right. And this is, yeah, I really wish somebody would. She feeling it, child. That's because she's a wicked witch, and she's, she's the dragon lady. The beading on the dress is amateurish. And then she wore, let's see. Oh, girl. These colors are so odd together. I'm just not. Oh, no. No, no, no. It's bad from every angle. But I mean, I don't really have any expectations of Leticia. This is what is upsetting, because I felt like I thought she had it figured out. This is Leticia on her birthday. Oh, I didn't want Glenn. I just wanted Leticia. This is Leticia on her birthday. So, I mean, somebody out there, look at how nice she looks. She could have just got this one in gold. Ugh, and took it to the reunion, because this is so much better than, I don't know why they have such a hard time with her décolletage, get her boobies up and support it. I don't know. This dress does exactly what it needs to do. It's the right length. Look at her beat. The face is beat to the gods. And then she want to come over here to the reunion. Look at that. Oh, look at that. She just looks so nice. She looks so nice all the way down to the damn shoe. And then she comes over to the reunion and puts a dragon wing out of her neck. I don't understand. Look at this. Look at this one. Ooh, it's just this chocolatey, silky niceness. I don't know, I don't know where she is. I don't know what she's doing. I just know she looks beautiful. I don't know that this would be a reunion dress, but it's just, look at here. She could have wore that in gold, but Tisha don't know how to keep her legs closed. So maybe she could have had a version of this in gold and longer. More drama. Look at how this boobs are held up in this dress. She just showing more birthday party stuff. Anyway, yeah, Tisha came over here dressed as a dragon. Is there anybody else? She looked ready for bed in the brown. Yeah, décolletage. I just think, like, there's 3 dresses here that we could have done. She is to sparkle at the reunion. I don't know what she did. She came with a dragon wing, and usually she's bad. So she's staying true to what we're used to. Her over here looking a mess down at the reunion. Anyway, is that it? Are there any more bells? I think that's it. Yes. Those are the looks. I would say Carrie, Latrice, and Selena will be, yeah, my top looks for, the bells. So anyway, um let's go ahead and get into it, child. Ooh, this is Real Housewives of Atlanta. I never do my notes this way. So anyway, we get down to the couch and Latrice doesn't trust Letitia. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with Latrice doesn't trust Letitia because of whatever happened with Josh. And I feel like Latrice and Leticia has they have done so much dirt behind the scenes with each other and Josh. Josh is messy. So do I believe that Leticia was in communication with Josh? I do. Um, and Josh is messy. So he was in communication with both of them. They do this thing where they go dig up in your past or dig up and try to find dirt on you. They all do this thing over here. So now that these two are, I don't know. Leticia first starts out with, I think we're in a good place. I mean, in a good place is in a good place, I suppose, because we have to work together. But trust, that's a whole nother thing altogether. So I wouldn't trust her either. And I don't believe Leticia Pearson trusts Latrice. Did she reach out to Josh? I think she did. I'm trying to send this picture with all of them. Bear with me. Bear with me. Um, yeah, I think that Leticia was definitely in communication with Josh. I think now they said he said something like Latrice used him for a storyline, and I'm like, I don't remember any storyline that she needed Josh for. She did let him stay at her house, and he pissed off Cliff, and he was asked to leave. So and that's when obviously Latrice is gonna choose her husband, even if she decides she don't want him, along the way down the road, she's gonna choose her husband. So, I don't know why he got himself mixed up in that, but I also think, Josh is very messy, and he most certainly was going between the two of them with information. Hey, Lotus Egyptian flower. I'm still over here. I'm trying to talk and do things over here technically at the same time. And we know that, I'm not that fancy. So I'm going to just, can we still blame retrograde and Mercury? Is that still a thing? Or, I don't know. What's next? I need a spaceship Enterprise like LC has. Um, yeah, there's no trust between them, those two. So the influencer event. Marie Monroe brings up the influencer event because she thinks that Carrie should have included, what's her name? Leticia. It's so hard to not get these names all mixed up. So Marie Monroe thinks that Carrie should have included Leticia Pearson on this whole influencer thing that her and Latrice did together, because Leticia is the one that brought her in this collective. And I'm so tired of that. I'm so tired of, like, how long do we have to owe our lives to friggin' Marie Monroe and Leticia Pearson? Because, they brought the bells over here. How long do we have to do that? I don't know. But she thinks, and she says, Marie Monroe says that Carlos was under the influence of Leticia Pearson, and that is why she was able to come over here and be on the show. Um, I'm not sure why everybody needs to come through Leticia. I don't know that that's a thing, but she likes to stand on this, throne and be like, maybe that's why she came with her dragon wing. She likes to stand on the throne and pretend as if everybody owes her something for being, on the show. And I feel like you do. There is a gratitude, but I'm coming on the show not because of you. I'm coming on the show because I have businesses and this would definitely benefit me in terms of being on a bigger platform. Um, Carrie has been an influencer, so you want somebody that's going to bring energy to the show. And if it's one thing that Miss Carrie Paul has bought over here, it's some energy, some whole lot of energy. Things be flying out of her mouth, and and you don't know what's really going on with Carrie. I like her though. Um, I want Carrie to stand on business. I want her to stand on business. I think the reason why they call her a flip flopper is because she tries to finagle her way um, out of things that came out of her mouth. Like you can't have a big mouth and then want to like backtrack and like they say, flip flop. So Marie says that Carrie came on the show with an agenda to attack her, and I don't disagree with that. I don't know about attack, but Carrie, I feel like obviously she said they've been wanting her for a long time. So clearly, she thought about it until, it was the right time for her to do it. They didn't came all the way over to the coast to get Carrie Paul because they decided meaning Leticia and Latrice, got together on some nonsense and got rid of Aikisha. And Aikisha quit and then So Gucci quit, but they ran her off. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna pretend like they didn't run her off. The point in which her husband felt like he needed to put hands on Glenn, he was like, I have too much to lose, so we can't be over here anymore. And I get that. It's unfortunate for the show because Aikisha was a lot like Carrie in a way that like she had a lot of mouth. Um, and they don't like that. They especially Marie. Marie doesn't want anybody coming over there telling her anything because she's Marie Monroe, and she doesn't. She doesn't. Not, I think both of them had a way of coming off. Carrie likes to say, this is Jackson. Jackson is ghetto. But you over here, and I get why they feel away. Girl, you are over here, Jackson, using us, as a platform. So you can't come over here and say it's ghetto, but at the same time, you're like kind of is. Some of it, at least, you know what I'm saying. So both things, I guess, could be true. But you can't come over here talking down to people, and that's a real trigger for Marie Monroe. You're not gonna be talking down to her. I think because she has, done so much, achieved so much on her own, she definitely wants to separate herself from, and understandably so. You talking about somebody who, had a drug addicted mother and thankfully has a great relationship with her father. I think that she should bring him around more when it's time for filming because, that's a relationship we don't often get to see. Anyway, yeah, I feel like Carrie did come over there with an agenda, and it was to needle Marie because that part is not going to be so nasty. You know what I mean? But Marina shut it down. She said, she's done with your disrespect, Carrie. So find another, friend to pick on. Selena's wedding. Were Tambra and Latrice bad bridesmaids? I don't think so. I think Selena's wedding was a circus that she waited until the last minute. Like Selena's organizational skills, she talking about she stopped her business after her son passed away, but she doesn't seem to have business savvy. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it appears because her decision making in terms of, planning this grand wedding, I don't know. Selena be living in Disneyland. She's a little dingy. She's very pretty, but I think she's a little bit dingy. I don't think they were bad bridesmaids because you can't like help somebody that's telling you no. And at some point you're like worried that she's not going to be able to pull it off. So I feel like they did what they could do to help. Um, so Carrie, this is, an example of Carrie overstepping. She had this event back in the spring. I remember it. It was the guys because she had a flyer, and Glenn was over there doing a little commercial. Come on down to the brick. Come on by down. Check out the brick. It was like a holiday weekend. Anyway, it was Glenn and Mike and Carrie's husband Matt. Was Cliff? I don't remember seeing Cliff in the photo, but Carrie decided she was gonna put out a poster and use Mike's photo from his wedding. And Selena asked her not to do that, and she did it anyway. Why would you think it would be okay to use their wedding photos? She said, I was thinking more like you don't want to see the bride, and you don't want to see the pictures until I release them of the bride and the groom. And the fact that Selena told her and she did it anyway, that's a little bit ballsy, Carrie. I'm just saying. And then, Selena checked her, she took it down. But if I was Selena, I would put Carrie on a little bit of a, you just a little bit. Give me a little room. I don't know how you coming. Because, I know you didn't after I told you not to. And she gonna set up at the lady's wedding and say rain means bad luck. I did not look that up. I don't think that's the truth. I think it's the other way around. I think it's rain means good luck. And if it was anything about bad luck, I wouldn't be saying it out loud at anybody's event. So, Carrie, you were over there on the T-bus talking about decorum. That's not decorum. Now I'm starting to be like your mother-in-law, and you don't know when to shut your mouth. I like Carrie. Anyway, the rumor is on the streets that some of these ladies over here have fake followers. And so I don't know why Carlos brought this up, but they were, Carrie, I guess she was defending herself as a business owner, what have you. But she said some of these people have fake followers. And Carlos is like, who? And Carrie said, these ladies have told me that somebody's numbers just shut up from out of nowhere. So I don't know who told her, probably Latrice and them when they were sitting around having conversations because they all talk behind each other's back. But so Selena has 694,000 followers. Selena should be doing well. I mean, she does. They got their little, her and the girls got their clothing line website. I don't know how she's doing over there, but Selena doesn't have a 9 to 5, so I'm guessing she does fine as an influencer. Leticia has 99,000. Tambra has 43.9 thousand. Isn't that interesting? And Tambra was the radio lady, but Tambra is not over here. This is the most we talked about Tambra. She had to be ignited though. Latrice has 133,000. And Carrie has 169,000, and Marie Monroe has 415,000. Carlos probably bought the bots for them. I don't know, but I went and looked. Like I said, Selena and Carrie, all of them actually, their engagement. Hey, Shayna, their engagement matches their following. You know what I'm saying? Marie has like 415,000 followers, and she gets the same engagement as I do, and I have 600 people probably. So it doesn't match. So when I looked at that, I was like, Marie, it does kind of seem like you were over here, buying followers. It doesn't matter. Get it how you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Because Carrie called her out, and she doesn't like that. So she got very upset. She got so upset that she was triggered. And she had, she doesn't need to fake her life. Everything she does is real. And apparently she has some person that, unalived her cousin or something. And they were coming for her very heavily on Instagram. And that's how come she got all those followers. And I've never heard anything about this. So maybe it's just me that lives under a rock, but this is my first time hearing any of this. You know what I'm saying? As it relates to Marie Monroe. I know that son had got her house all pop out up and they had to move. And then I know her son, was involved in something that somehow got his girlfriend unalived. I'm pretty sure he has something, her connection to him has something to do with that. So I don't know Marie Monroe. It's a lot going on over there, but it's not so much on, the timeline. They in the back, carry this and carry that. But Carrie has Marie so worked up. So they go back in there and in the back room and they're having a moment and they're all standing around. And, that's Marie tells this story about how her cousin and things that took place down on the internet that, I don't know if y'all heard about it. I did not. I didn't hear about it. I don't know about it. It seems like some street stuff. You know what I'm saying? The thing that she likes to separate herself from, as she should. Anyway, Carrie and her mother came back there. Marie said she was triggered, and Carrie pretty much was like, "Girl, I didn't mean for it to be that deep." And I think she didn't. Carrie's over here bantering back and forth, and Marie is over here getting mad for real. So, Carrie, read the room. That's all I can say. Sometimes you might need to shut your mouth when you see people getting pissed off for real. Just fall back a little bit. Because I guess, she's embarrassed, even though, we don't know. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not that serious. And I think that's why Carrie's mother's like, girl, it's okay. You need to get you some help. Because if one word from Carrie can get you just triggered like that, hell, I got triggers myself. Ooh, them mamas is funny over there on that side. I will say this. I like Carrie and her family. It's other entertainment. You know what I'm saying? These mamas can be how come everybody's mother comes on the show and then becomes the show? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess these mothers be at the age where they just gonna say what the hell they want to say and they don't care one way or the other. So, ciao. Tambra, it's time for her story. What do they call it? Her segment. Anyway. Tambra, her father is been diagnosed with dementia. She got a lot going on, in her real life. He had a stroke. I think we remember. Well, they never said for sure if he had a stroke, but when they were on their way to the coast, she had to get out and go back home. I think that was the onset of it. I have experienced that, and sometimes they don't even want to say stroke. I had to call the ambulance for my mother, who I think it was her second stroke. And I'm outside and they wouldn't let me come in because I had my daughter. So I had to wait for my older daughter to get out of school before I could even go in and see what was going on. So I'm calling to check. And I said, I'm calling to check on my mother. And she had a stroke. And she was very nobody has diagnosed her with a stroke. So, I think sometimes, depending on, how they're treating us in the hospital, sometimes it's hard to even get a real diagnosis. So her father has been diagnosed with dementia. And I will tell you, Tamara's life is going to change quite a bit in the next, few years. Because dementia is something that is very slow moving. And I took care of my mother 7 years. So yeah, she's entering in a very different phase of her life. She's got a toddler. She's got to decide what she's going to do with her embryos. I just don't know if she has time for the juice man. But go ahead and say that. I feel like, because I've been through it and dealing with elderly parents, it weighs so heavily on you. And, we can't say nothing bad about Damon because I feel like Damon be taking care of his child. So we're not mad at him about that. Hey, High Vibe. I don't know what's her name, Tambra and Devon's relationship is. I feel like she would have been more open. We want to be over here acting like Tambra is keeping secrets, but the two powers that be that want to take responsibility for people even being over here, Isabel, Marie Monroe, and Leticia Pearson, and Latrice, they're always like going into people's. I feel like Latrice maybe is a little more retaliatory. Is that how you say it? I don't know that she necessarily goes out, to start shit, but she will finish it. But Leticia, oh for God's sakes, Leticia Pearson and Marie Monroe, they go digging. They be speaking to people outside of their personal life. Marie got in all upset because of them thinking that her business was closing based on the sign outside that said the business was closing, or relocating or whatever. I don't know. They do different kind of detective shit, looking for like there was a rumor, and via Latrice, who will turn on Leticia at the stop of flip of a dime. But there was a rumor that Leticia Pearson was gonna try to get somebody over in Willie's DMs. They go low when they do things, so you know I can understand why Tambra's on pause by telling y'all anything. Devon, he brings out London Simone. London Simone don't feel like it. She do not want to be out here with these people. She's not into all of the audience, studio audience and all of that. So now that we've gotten Tamara's little package over with, and she comes, she's sharing her baby with the world, and all of the things. Now we got to discuss the outside noise, because outside noise has been over here causing some problems. And are we friends gonna be a part of the Bell Collective or not? I honestly didn't see Amanda doing so much to be a part of the collective. She came with the mess. I don't know if she was auditioning to be a Belle or not. I don't think it's gonna happen. So Amanda, I mean, you just gonna have to be a friend of. You waiting for Tambra to come out of her broadcast voice and cuss the mean girls out. She did outside that restaurant. She was like, "I'll whoop her." And I was like, I don't know if that's what you want, Tambra. You better leave Big Shante alone, because I think she will, snatch the life out of you. Latrice says that Shante is somebody that she do not deal with. That's Leticia's friend, and she thinks that that Shante is Leticia's mouthpiece. And Leticia says she don't need no M and F and mouthpiece. She is the mouthpiece. And I think Shante is definitely her mouthpiece. That's what she does. She likes to sit around and be like, what? Who? What do I have time to do that? What do you mean by that? That's what she does, Leticia. Or she sits there while Marie Monroe goes, so Carrie, don't say nothing, Leticia. Carrie, how come you didn't include Leticia in your event? Because she's the one that brought you over here. Another mouthpiece. And then Leticia gets to sit there and be like, I mean, so that's what we got here. And then the Shante, man, she wants to be a part of this so bad. This is her dream come true. Like Shante been sitting in the sideline for years. She's over here telling, I've been here the whole time. So you've been here the whole time. And you finally get your chance to come over to this bell table, and you want to smash Tambra, whose biggest crime is not telling y'all her business because you can't be trusted. Okay. You can say Tambra's not bringing anything, because sometimes people's life just be regular. You know what I mean? Sometimes people's life is just regular, and yeah, it's not that entertaining. Y'all got to, find things to do to be entertaining. I think she's got things going on in her life. When you go back and look at the first season and you get into her radio life and things like that, and Tambra should be the one having, she was hosting the fashion show and that kind of thing. If she got back to that, I feel like she would be bringing, more to the table than just Damon is at work. And I think Damon, when he came over here, Damon came over here and y'all went and found some chick. And when I say y'all, I mean Leticia Pearson. Went and found some chick that said she was dating Damon. And so, yeah, he's like, I'm not going over there because they be coming for me and trying to embarrass me and all of that types of things. And, this is these people's real life. So none of us really believe that relationship is traditional as relationships go, but I feel like they're a whole family over there. So ain't nobody about to let y'all interfere with their family. Plus, her dealing with her parents and getting older and child. Nobody fooling with Leticia Pearson. Find Glenn, because he's somewhere in somebody's DMs. Worried about that. Good grief. Yeah, this is Shantae's dream come true. She came over here and she thought she was ready, clump stomping across the room so she could plop down on that sofa next to her friend with the bat wing. Shantae says that she came over here to hold people accountable. And isn't that interesting? Like, Shante, why do we owe you anything? And when I say we, I mean them. I'm not actually a Bill. You love their unconventional arrangement. Honestly, high vibe, I think it would be a great storyline. However, I can't say I blame her for not sharing that with them. And I feel like if Tambra, like, if they get a next season, which they probably will, if she starts having relationships, like maybe her and Latrice, because she's cool with Latrice for real, maybe they can do a couples date together. And we get to see her and her relationship, you know what I'm saying, or how they doing things. I don't know that they're dating. We don't know. We just know that there's a possibility that they could use them embryo. And there's so many fathers out here not stepping up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it would be an interesting story, and I feel like she's gonna have to figure out a way to share it. I think a lot of people would appreciate, these people doing things their own way. And yeah, she could be over there like Leticia looking for her husband down to the taste. So Shantae comes over here because she's I guess the accountable police. I don't have to be accountable to anybody but myself. That's how I look at it. You take accountability for things if you make a misstep, but the accountability is for you. That's how I feel. And you have to do that when you're ready. If you're not ready to take Miss Shantae is not gonna come over here and hold me accountable for a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Latrice. You're Leticia's friend. I don't even have to talk to you, girl. So she comes over here with a video recording of her at the juice bar talking to the juice man. Child, what did this man say? Because her receipts was just so ridiculous. He said it's all business at the end of the day, but I would have never did, nothing like that to harm somebody or hurt somebody like that. He's saying it's just business. So he wouldn't run his mouth or do anything, that's what I'm getting from it. And Shantae says, but even when I said it wasn't to hurt her, it literally, when we do the scene, she laughed about it. That man said, what are you trying to convince him of, Shantae? What is it that you want this man to say to you? He said it's business. And how weird is it that you went over there to record this man? So Shantae did an interview. I'm gonna go ahead and share it. Shante did an interview with, I think his name is Jay Evans. I'll put it down in the description box if y'all want to watch the whole interview. It's long, but this is her over here, just interviewing about what had happened over there.
To understand is this is not a thing where I just started coming around. Like I have always been around. I have always, because it's a show that my friend created. I've always been privy to watching the show, because you want to watch your friend's success. And then these are Mississippi women. And at the time I was in Texas when it first started coming out. But it was just like, okay, let me just tune in and see what's going on. And I thought Tamara was an actual good addition, because with her being a good addition, because she already had a relationship with Tisha. So I said, it kind of makes sense, that she would be one of the ladies that would come on and this platform with Tisha. So, but as I'm watching, like, especially toward these last seasons, because the first two seasons, let's be clear, she was Tisha Shallow, But when we get on further, it's more like, okay, I see you shifting.
She was not Tisha's shadow, first of all. She had another friend. There was another friend over there, and I feel like Tamara was moving on her own. Girl, she was hosting things for Tisha. Who does she think she is, girl?
And every time you get in the scene, you have all these comments about people's marriages, people's situations. Like, you have all this stuff to talk about, all this advice that nobody asked for. And so my whole thing was, when some information was brought to me, and it wasn't brought to me in a malice way, it was just somebody talking, it's just talk. And when I decided to tell my friend, because I'm like, she's so wrapped up in your situation and talking about what you got going on, why don't she just talk about her own self? I said, because her story within itself is something for her to share with people. So why are you just playing judge and jury to everybody else? So that's how that came about. So because my friend is the way that she is, well, I'll say we are the way that we are. We believe in, like, hey, if the information came from you, put it out there. Or if the information, don't tell me nothing that somebody said if you can't tell me who the somebody was. That's literally how I operate. So when she said, well, she said, well, we just had a whole sit down, with the Bells, and asking them, do they still want to be here? Like, what do they bring to the table and all of that stuff. And then we decided that we was going to be open and honest with each other, and, just kind of, because
now she did say at the reunion is the first step before a lawsuit. And this is what I want to know. What happened between the two of y'all? Because to me, if we're shooting a show, right, we're going to have to discuss each other. You're going to be asked about each other. That's part of the show. So what happened between y'all? Because she said the comment about you put her child into it. What is it?
okay. So if we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna just fluff over it. We're not gonna talk about just things that people saw. We're gonna talk about what you didn't see, what you should see, and what you did see. So we're gonna be clear and we're gonna be transparent, because that's what I believe in being. So basically, the situation with us, what you have to understand is, this is not a thing where I just started coming around. Like I have always been around. I have always, because it's a show that my friend.
Okay, so she's, over here telling this guy about how she just doesn't care. She doesn't have any interest in Latrice's business. She could care less. And then this is her talking about, going to visit the juice man.
Conversation with the juice man / the Kool-Aid man.
First of all, I need $1 for all these comments, because sister need a new purse. But okay, so like when of course, when we had to sit down and everything started coming out, and then she started joining all these blogs, things were being said from her, people for her, or whatever. And so it was getting back to me with, oh, he said he don't like Shante, he can't stand her, she's this, she's that. And I'm like, what? Now, we don't know each other like that, like personally, to where we, loaning money to each other. But what are you talking about? I've done nothing to this guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So me, because hey, I'm gonna put it on Front Street, and I believe in being accountable, and I believe in facing the situation for what it is. So let me just go up here because I hadn't been up there in a while due to some personal reasons.
So she just believes in being accountable, and she wants to make sure everything's up front, and nothing, behind the scenes. Everybody needs to say was put your hands on the table. So she just decided, you know what? I'm going to go over by the juice man and record our conversation just for accountability purposes, even though I really could care less what Tambra has going on in her life.
just hadn't been up there due to a fallout that he had, and I was being loyal. So I was like, I'm just not gonna go. So let me just go up here. I go and I, sit there waiting to order my drink. And, we start talking. He recognized me. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, this don't seem like somebody that hate me. And we were having conversation before, and my whole thing was like, I believe in vindication.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, maybe this is a way for me to like clear my name, because I don't need you out here saying I'm lying on you and I'm doing all of this and I'm saying you selling ads for ads, and I just don't need all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm going to put the link in the bio, and y'all could go ahead, in the description, and y'all can go ahead and listen to her ramble on and on a lot about Tambra Latrice, and yeah, how she vindicated and accountable and all of these things. That girl is a trip. And this guy that's doing the interview, he definitely does not like Tambra. So they had a moment, where they were bashing Tambra, and, yeah. I don't know him. I don't know if he's like from that area, because they all follow him. But yeah, check out that interview in its full. He did it on Instagram. So anyway, Latrice said her friend talks about her behind her back. I believe that. I just the air that this girl gives off, I fully believe that she does. I think she probably talks about her behind her back. They talked about her. Somebody in the street said Glenn tried to talk to her. I don't know if he did. She said he didn't, but I don't know what these people be doing. Glenn, would he? Maybe he hollered at Amanda. So I wouldn't put anything past him. Maybe he thought, he could get her to be a belle. You know what I'm saying? I can make you a belle. Amanda says she's not like Shante. She said everything she said in the DMs were true. I never thought it was the same either. Amanda was, your man was in this lady's DMs. And so that's a fact. It's not the same thing as her going to dig up things. Latrice and them were laughing. Yeah, they were, because that's how they really feel about you. They think it's funny that you keep staying with Glenn over and over and over, and he's over here disrespecting you. So yeah, they had a good kiki about that, because they both had issue with you. Letitia basically kept Amanda from filming, as she should. I could be, clear that I would not want her ass over there either. Letitia said this is her platform and she gonna be respected. And like I said, I would not want, somebody that my husband was over here trying to get at now on the platform. No, get out of here, girl. You came over here, you did what you needed to do, and now I'll be gone with you. But what Shante is doing is something completely different. Carlos asked her about the cease and desist, because Tambra had one sent over there, and she said her attorney said, to just say allegedly, you'll be fine. Putting it out there, that this woman is sleeping with someone, whether she's got a man or not, that is like someone who is a client where she works. And they had this part of their conversation where she was like, I never said she was sleeping with her clients over there. That's not what I said. It is what you said, because this man is a client at the radio station. And that guy is like, how is he a client? Because that's where she works. I don't know what her role is over there, but I know there's a lot of, trying to get ad revenue and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, if he's a client, that's just like somebody that coming to get their hair done where I work. Like, they're a client. They're not my client exactly, but they're a client of the business that I'm associated with. So, they was trying to downplay the fact that Tambra was like, this man is a client. He says straight up, it's business. However he feels about Tambra, this Mr. Juice Man, I don't know. I feel like he might have like said something. He said something to her boyfriend to make it seem like there was more going on. You know what I'm saying? And Tambra, I don't know what you're doing over there with your Juice Man, but we gonna find out next week because she called him. She called the Juice Man, and yeah, we on hold until next week. So we'll find out what the Juice Man has to say next week. Amanda said that Glenn asked her to be a part of a threesome with his wife. Is he sitting there for that? I think so. He'll deny it. Anyway, Mike, the people have questions. They want to know, what about that baby? And did Glenn sign the post-nup? He did not. We knew that. We knew that it wouldn't be signed, and he's over here with no answers as to why not. And, she just gonna sit up there with that dragon wing sticking out of her shoulder, talking about my man, my man. Carrie and Matt with both of their mothers. That's gonna be something else. We got two feisty little ladies over here. And yeah, so that's it for Bell Collective. Let's get into these housewives. This won't take long because they came over here and tried to I don't know what this finale episode was, I guess to wrap it up and for us to get to see, K Michelle sing her song. They start out with a Go Naked Hair photo shoot with Portia, Cynthia, and Drew. Yeah, they were standing around trying to figure out who was going to stand where. Pinky is, franchising now. So she's working her way out of that situation. I think franchising is an excellent idea. I hope to see her turn it around because, mistakes are made in business, especially ones that grow as fast as hers did. So, yeah. So right now she's on the road to trying to recover from, what this mess she made. And the people said the food is good. So if the food is good and there's not a lot of vegan options out there, then I think Pinky will be just fine. And K Michelle is over here preparing for her, country music album launch. So Pinky and Shamia and K Michelle, they meet up for a play date. It's October, I'm guessing. They had the Halloween party and everything. So they got the kids out here, at the scary house. It was mildly scary. It was so cute. Pinky daughter introducing herself to Shamia's daughter. They were so precious. And, nice little family day. And K Michelle. But, they came over here to talk smack too. They're talking about Shamia's party and how Drew was speaking on behalf of Angela. Angela was sitting up there, looking a fool because those people said that's not true. And she was trying to say that Shamia was sleeping with who? George, the man with the green beard. It was silly. So Angela was not vindicated. And I guess, Drew and Cynthia were speaking up for her for whatever reason. I don't like it. So I hope Angela finds something else to do besides this because I don't like it. It's just lame. You know what I mean? Stop saying that I slept with everybody. You're weird. Drew, and another thing, like if it was one of the basketball, football, NFL, wherever she's over here doing her job at, if it was one of those guys, that would make sense. Why would Shamia be trying to sleep with George with the green beard? It didn't even make sense. Drew and her fake Jay-Z, and the horse, was shitting in Shamia's neighborhood. Now the HOA done fined the lady $2,000. I mean, I feel like, we know HOAs can be ridiculous. And I feel like Shamia lives in a neighborhood where the HOA fees are very high. And horses be walking and shitting. So that part. And I would be pissed if I had a 2,000. I don't care how rich I am. I would be pissed if I had a $2,000 HOA bill. Bravo needs to pay for that shit for letting her come over there. If I was Shamia, I would be like, who's taking care of this? Not just throwing $2,000 to shit for a horse that I didn't even bring over here. Piggy says she misses the bubbly Shamia. I mean, I guess it's hard to be bubbly when you and your best friends is fighting about how your mama's is hoes, and this lady is over here, saying that you slept with everybody in Atlanta, and it's just probably hard to be bubbly when you're Shamia. And Shamia, wants to be over here like in this woe is me position anyway. So if she's not going to come out fighting, then she's not going to be bubbly. K. Michelle invites the ladies to her listening party. She just wants everything to just be smoothed over. So for whatever y'all ladies got going on, just smooth it over, because I'm having a listening party and I need everybody to focus on me and not whatever nonsense they got going on. Drew and her mother go look at a house. I mean, she gonna need to find one because the judge said, no, you got to go. She's looking at a house. It's $1,350,000 home. I don't know, Drew. I feel like it's just, I'm not counting your checks, but they did put your money out there, on the internet and everywhere. So we know, roughly how much you're making over here. And it doesn't make sense for you to get a $1,350,000 home. But y'all do what you want to do, because y'all be over here spending money on, thousands of dollars on bags and things that y'all don't have the money to spend it on. That's the difference between Atlanta and Beverly Hills. I know people do that, but Atlanta likes to be over here with these labels all the time. And it's just a bunch of Doreets over here. I don't know about their cards getting declined, but they spending, you in bankruptcy. Several people over here, other ones going through divorces, and their money is all tied up, because they can't do shit while they're trying to divorce. Meanwhile, you looking at a house that's $1 million. Okay, girl. Where you never even here because you claim you always off making movies. She talks about the challenges of being a working mother that has to travel, and Ralph is over here using it against her. And yeah, because that's the type of guy he is. You already know that. You've been with Ralph long enough to know that he's a sneaky little snake, and you should have been preparing for this, all along. I don't know what you was flying off around the world doing. How far did Tubi make you go? They don't make Tubi movies in Atlanta. She over here talking about she looking for an EGOT. I mean, never say never, child. If you don't believe it, nobody else will. I don't know about Drew and her tears. I could never tell when Drew is being for real or not. So, I mean, I think maybe the realization that all of this is coming to an end. But you've been walking around like you don't care, like going out with this clown Black and got this other clown bringing horses to other people's, events. So it's hard to tell like what you really got going on. Black, he's my friend. Nothing has changed between us, but I love him. Okay, girl. Well, I mean, honestly, as far as Ralph is concerned, if you're flying around like that, maybe it is the best thing for him to have the kids while they're in school, regardless, like he's their father, regardless to, what kind of asshole he is. You the one that went down and matrimonied yourself to this man. So, y'all figuring it out. Ralph gets the house. Ralph gets the primary custody of the kids, and Drew has to pay alimony. So Is that what you crying about? I don't know, girl. I don't know about that big ass house you and your mama standing in and snubbing room. Oh my god, this room. Okay. Phaedra is down here practicing law and order in this conference room. What is this? This is her and her team. This is not how she practices. I don't believe. Does Phaedra have an office? Or is this just, a rented conference room? Anyway, Phaedra's holding court in a conference room. Her and her team are prepping Kelly because Kelly is supposed to have a court date with this ex-husband. She's looking to get child support, and she needs, she wants the ability to film with her children. I think, she got it. Spoiler alert. I'm glad she got it. Stop trying to, you know what I'm saying? Get in the way of progress, fat boy. He down to the jailhouse. Phaedra, she dismissed the team after they, give Kelly their game plan. And then she gives Kelly a bra because apparently Kelly doesn't wear a bra. And I mean, Kelly, put on a bra, especially, if you go into court. Because Phaedra was talking about her nipples. Her nipples must always be like that for her to come, to the office with a bra. It's Drew's mother's 81st birthday. Did I get a picture of that? I think this is it. No, that's the Oakleys. Maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Drew has this party. Is Phaedra her attorney? And she's working for free, child. She's going ahead and getting this situation taken care of for her, and she's not charging her anything. But she did manage to get her here we go. She did manage to get her well, I don't know about the child support. I know he had to go to jail about child support. But she got her she can film with her girls. They say it at the end. I forget what the other thing is. I don't know about the child support, child. I know that man was in jail for not paying child support. The boy wants to laugh so bad he knows they're faking. Oh, you talking about in that conference room? Yes. I was like, she needs 6 people. This is her team. This is my team that we're going to work on Kelly for free. Girl, Phaedra's doing the most. That's why they call her the Godfather, because she was sitting at the head of that table like the Godfather. Anyway, Drew has this birthday party for her mother. She asked Ralph, can she do it at her house? And at his house, he said no, it was his week. I don't blame Ralph. It was a lot of people. Just get an Airbnb. I was very distracted. I don't know what was going on with the lighting at this party, but everybody was looking green. Phaedra looked crazy. Portia looks green. So does Angela. Angela looks like an alien. So Portia and Phaedra and Angela are questioning Drew about this horse. Why are we wasting time talking about this horse? She acting like she don't know. I don't know. Like, where do you even put a horse? Girl, stop. She's acting like she didn't know. The man showed up. She was dressed as Beyonce. He was dressed as Jay-Z. He showed up with a horse, because she was Cowboy Carter. And he's like a housewife stalker. She should not be letting him know where she's going to be. Dr. Ken came over there. Dr. Ken is her therapist. And Dr. Ken was touching and feeling on Phaedra, and it was very weird. He was very creepy, that Dr. Ken. So who chose him as a therapist? I would be concerned. I felt like that man was like feeling Phaedra up. It was very awkward. And then Black comes to the party. That they sing happy birthday to her mother. I don't know if that was one of Drew's songs or not, but then Black comes in here in the party, and her mother, who's the minister, was having a sassy good time dropping that thing down at the dance floor. And yeah, she was excited to see Black, the man who, lives in the phone and who isn't actually in a relationship with Drew. So why is he there to me? That's what I'm saying with Drew. Like, she does weird stuff. I thought this was interesting. So Shamia takes every opportunity she can to be sitting in a confessional somewhere crying about how, she needs to give this man this boy child. And he's just now meeting the he's just now meeting the surrogate. He doesn't even go through the process anymore. He's just like, go find somebody with a uterus so we can get this boy. And she's over there like, I mean, she's saying that he's not pressuring her, but she seems pressured. And yeah, so he meets the surrogate, and she's once again in her confessional crying. I hate that confessional look. She's like got a big I Dream of Jeannie booth on top of her head and these feathers, and she's so tacky. I'm sorry. Money can't buy your class. Woo! Sing it, Luann. Um, Sway comes to visit Portia. And I don't know, they're doing a lot of smiling at each other, and you know, it definitely fit. Well, we know now that they're in an actual relationship, but this definitely felt more authentic than whatever Mike is over there doing. Um, Portia says she's dating instead of jumping from one husband to another, and I'm like, when did you do that? Portia been dating since she divorced Cordell. That's a long time ago. And then she, quick snatched Simon up from that lady. And yeah, why is she acting like she just be getting married all the time? Girl, this ain't our first season. Sway is ready to define the relationship because she's not a fan of being in a triangle, even though she's still engaged to somebody. And then they were talking about like, so who are you dating? Well, I'm not dating, I'm dating Mike, and he's still in the picture. I don't know. Since I've been spending more time with you, I'm feeling like I like, it over here better than over there. What about you? Back at you. Are you still dating your fiance? What does that mean? I'm guessing no. I'm guessing after this conversation, somebody got dumped. Has they been on TikTok? Have y'all seen Sway's ex? You know how the exes like to come on TikTok and be like, put a finger down if your girlfriend left you for Portia. So yeah, if y'all find her, let me know. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not dating my fiance. Yeah, I just feel like there's real chemistry here, so I'm not surprised that they're together. I don't know what that means. It's forever, ever. I don't know, child. It just seems like they are into each other. They're all hot for each other right now. Um, Funny, they flashed back to 2023 on the Ultimate Girls Trip where the shaman tells Portia that she's gonna have a problem with a lesbian. Okay, she said you're gonna have a problem with a lesbian, and we seeing all the giggles and the hot and bothered right now, but we ain't seen the problem. We gotta wait until next season. But yeah, they seem very attracted to each other. Dinner with the Oakleys. This was very weird. This was some weird energy. I don't know what this was supposed to be about. Angela says she's rented that house in the ditch. So, I mean, I guess, child. Angela, she's another one. Like, what exactly is she doing now? The street said Angela was over here committing fraud down to the bank. And they let her quit so she wouldn't go to jail. I'm gonna have to get more on that story because I'm just getting bits and pieces of it from these internet streets. They're sitting there having dinner, and then the younger kids leave the table, and Angela hasn't talked to Amari's wife since they got married. So Amari takes his time to call the lady, even though we've not ever seen her and we barely talk about her, but now she's ready to film. And I don't know, this lady is on the phone saying she's sorry, that they kept her out. And Angela's issue, allegedly, according to this story that they put out for us, is her and Amari are very close. And she was just so upsetting to them to her that they got married and didn't tell her. And apparently, at some point, she told her not to get married because this little girl, young lady, she's not a little girl, because this young lady is over here saying, you know what, you were right. I shouldn't have got married. Okay. Marriage is hard. That was the lesson that we learned over here. Angela's like, look, you've seen me stick with this guy. He's done all types of things. He's out every weekend. I was pregnant with, your sister, and I didn't know if I was even going to keep him around. So, yeah, marriage is hard. She was like, Charles, do you think they should have gotten married? And Charles was like, hey, they got to make their own decisions. Charles don't get in the mess of his own family. He said that. Angela can't escape the homophobia. This was so weird to me. It just felt like Charles, I feel like, gave it away with those faces he was making. It just seemed all too. We're going to wrap this up and say, I was hurt because nobody told me. And plus, now my daughter, she regrets the whole thing and doesn't want to be married anymore. So that's not going to make her stop being gay, but they could, I guess, child. She spent so much time worrying about daggone Shamia and who she might be sleeping with. So K Michelle has this listening party. I'm not particularly a fan of whiskey and Jesus or Jesus and whiskey. Um, yeah, maybe I'll have to hear it on the record. Let me hear it on the record and I'll let you know, K Michelle. But I don't even like saying Jesus and whiskey. It don't sound right. And I don't really, do either one of those things, but it just sounds weird saying Jesus and whiskey. What is this song about? Some sad ass song, probably, because that's what K Michelle does. Lovely voice, very special. I like that one. Um, anyway, K Michelle's little sister looks like her and sounds like her. Everybody starts to arrive. Drew, of course, is late. It's a bunch of hugging and whatnot, like they do. We about to wrap up this season, because we know we gonna cuss each other out down to this couch next week. Um, Kelly's husband bailed on court. He didn't go to court. He's using stalling tactics to keep this ball from rolling. So, poor, what's her name? Phaedra, did the damn thing and got the things handled. Portia and Sway, Patricia, that's her actual name. They're officials, so they're out and about as a couple. Portia's, waving your rainbow flag. She's happily gay. I'm gay, y'all. That's what Portia said, child. I guess we've been new, but she's feeling free to say it. Angela introduces her fans. They strong fans, but they're not bedazzled. They look like the same fans that you get down to the Temu store. I don't want Angela to do no fans. I don't want to do any houses. Maybe she should just be a socialite. Maybe she should do that. She should just plan fundraisers and things. Use up her man's money. K Michelle sings her song, child. And then the ladies all sing very special. So she done passed the mic to everybody, even Drew. Drew want to make faces and act like she can. I don't like to sing on the spot. Anyway, she said something very special. I'm gonna have to go listen to that song after I'm done here. Drew tells K Michelle, I love you, and then gives her a hug. And then they follow up with the argument about Black. I'm not going back over that same argument again. Drew pulled out text messages. K Michelle was, flattered by Black because everybody knows him. So for her to keep saying, I don't know the man, everybody knows Black. Claudia Jordan knows Black. K Michelle knows Black, allegedly, allegedly. Drew, all them people know Black. I guess he's that dude in Atlanta, the cigar guy, the hookah guy. Stop playing, K Michelle. Anyway, she knew him well enough to respond in the DMs. And the show ends with a group photo. Drew left. She had to be dramatic because of her and the K Michelle little tit for tat thing they had going on. But she came back because she knew she was going to be a part of that picture. So the updates, you know how they update you at the end. Phaedra is the lady of Glenn. Apparently, Pinky is on TikTok trying to, tell y'all how to run business. The shade room blow knows black. Everybody know black. So I don't know why K Michelle trying to act like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you acting like it would be so disrespectful to your husband when you came over here with a different fiance? And then switched it up on the people in the last minute. K Michelle, stop it. Um, Kelly is clear to film with her kids. We don't know nothing about that child support though. Um, We know that the judge ordered Drew to leave the marital home and that Ralph has temporary full custody of the kids and Drew has to pay him child support. Child, that sucks for her. Um, like I said, this might be the best arrangement for them kids, girl. You go ahead and fly around and do what you got to do and come back and FaceTime and, not be a deadbeat mother. And yeah, let Ralph get his ass up and make sure them kids go to school every day and make sure the homework and stuff gets done. Let him see what it's like for real, for real. And then he'll be trying to make a different arrangement. Um, Next week is part 1 of the 3-part reunion. And do I want to go over the looks? Let me see. I know I have it somewhere. They took pretty pictures. Oh, I know where to look. They took pretty pictures too. I'll probably do that next week with the reunion. Let's see. What the heck am I trying to do? Oh, I'm just gonna look at the photos on OMFG reality, and then I'll, like I said, do the go over the ones that they took individually because they're so much better. I don't understand why Bravo doesn't take better pictures. They got all these darn clips. Here we go. All these darn clips. We gonna see the whole darn reunion. That's what she get. You laugh when Drew fell. That's what she get over here walking around. Portia was like, are you sure they pushed you because your pants is long? Oh, that's your friend. Cynthia, let's see. I didn't like her outfit though. Cynthia's. But she sure had a lot of pretty pictures of. I mean, we not gonna compete. We not, where we don't compare with the Cynthia Bailey. Okay, Portia. I'm torn. I'm torn because it's giving a little Zsa Zsa Gabor vibe. I don't appreciate the trickery, of putting it in green. This is like probably one of the prettiest shades of green. I think maybe I would like it more if that thing wasn't around her neck. You know what I'm saying? I wish they would have kept it delicate since, the beading kind of changes the vibe a little bit. But, she looks pretty. I haven't rated anybody yet. So, yeah, let's see. Phaedra. I like Phaedra's dress. I mean, I definitely like the pictures. It's another really pretty green. Um, I'm not mad at the wig. I have adjusted to Phaedra and her blonde hair, and I just wish the sheer part maybe wasn't in the front. If I'm gonna critique it, I feel like the having it at the thigh is cutting it off. It's giving Coming to America. Phaedra or Portia? Whatever you like. Oh, they stay putting them ponytails on top of their head. Angela, this dress is beautiful. My only critique of this dress is it's a little short. I wish it would have been a little longer, like Carrie's was on Bell Collective. It just needed a little more length. And Angela is very tall, but yeah, I wish this dress just a little bit of train where it dragged the floor a little bit, but she looks really good. This might be my favorite. Cynthia, I don't love it. I don't know about those boots. Where is she going? Why she look so different than everybody else? The colors are the colors are off. They're not coordinated. You mean with each other? It's just a bunch of different greens. I don't know, Cynthia. I don't like it. I don't like it. Cynthia always be like, I'm just a friend. I'm not doing any more than I have to. I have several other places to be tonight, and I need my feet to be comfortable. So that's what Cynthia's giving. She got giving bodysuit and cape. I'm not mad at Kelly's dress, and I seen the back. Kelly's so little; she's got a lot going on. I think Kelly ruined it when she put this pearl bridge thing over her shoulder and neck. It just doesn't make sense. It cheapens the dress. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I don't know why they're all doing that. I don't love her hair. Yeah, Kelly is always doing the most. And like I said, without the pearls on it, I feel like it would have really been nice. She just always doing too much. Cynthia looks like she's going to the club next. She got plans, girl, and it don't involve nobody wearing green. So they said Paris style Cynthia. I don't know what he must have been like the jacket, love. The jacket is just gonna be fabulous. It is, but it doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is all right, minus the pearls. Huh? Drew looks good. I don't like that hair though. Oh, that hair is terrible. I'm not sure about her makeup either. Drew always trying to dress like a tall person. Does she have enough neck for that? Now, see, if Cynthia Bailey had this on, I would probably feel different. You know, Portia's booty is so big, so her booty sometimes be taken away from, the look. But it's not bad. It's okay, Drew. Minus this hair. This hair is terrible. Is that go naked hair? Put it back. We don't want that one. Talk about coming to America. Why does she go get a dress to me that looks so similar to the one that Portia had on last reunion? I don't know how she didn't see that, but here she is with this gold costume on, looking like she should be down to, I don't know, the Wiz. Her and Leticia Pearson. We got a dragon, and I don't know what Shamia is doing over here. It's a no. It's a no, 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 no. Pinky. Pinky could have done better. I'm sorry. She looks like a Muppet. Her hair is cute. The jewelry and other. You got to have a long neck to be doing all of that. And I mean, she's pregnant. I don't know how pregnant she is. This faux fur is a no, no, no. It's not good, Pinky. None of it. None of it. She would have did better to just have something on that was like form fitting, but she don't have that kind of shape. You do when you're pregnant, though. Your boobs be good. Okay, Michelle. Again, this dress looks like the dress Portia wore last time. The top of it does, just with it's in green. This dress has a lot of detail. You can't see it, and yeah, it's just all right. I'm not overwhelmed by any of them, to be honest. I didn't look at any of them and go, "Oh, that's really pretty." It was all just okay. So Piggy looks older. Yeah, because she's dressed like Zsa Zsa Gabor. Wait, it's almost 10 o'clock, y'all. It is past my bedtime. I've been over here talking about these darn shows. And I got to get my, situation together for coffee talk in the morning. So thank you guys for hanging out with me, and like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back over here, like I said, 10 a.m. for some coffee talk. Bye, y'all.